It's working. Scar. Alright. I'll take a minute. It's been a while since I've showed my face. I still exist. Yeah, I thought tonight, I've been working on this for a while. If Sled was to get a remaster, not what I'm actually working on right now. This is more of gonna be a gotcha kind of thumbnail clickbait. I don't know why I forgot the word. Let's get some music going on as well, just so it's not dry air at any moment. We had this good. Yeah, let me dumb this down. Future Fusion playlist is nice. A little louder. Right there. Okay, cool. Yeah, I've been working on a script for a video if Sled were to get a remaster. And I'd finally got to a point where I thought I'd share some of the ideas with you guys. This is kind of like a dry run. I have this up right now. I'm just currently working on this. This is just something for you guys to look at. I was thinking of making it a little smaller. This actual photo is from the new snowmobile game for the Switch. It's not new. It's been out for like a couple of years. Actually, let me pull up the name of that. It's like Snow Moto, something like that. Snow Moto Racing Freedom on the Switch. I've watched gameplay for it. It's literally dog water. Yo, what's up, Garrett? I got you with the clickbait. Yeah, we're gonna be talking about the if it were to get a remaster. There's nothing in the scope that it's actually getting a remaster. But I am currently working on a script that will either convince some game developers to, make it a possibility. So I will start off. Let's see, on my script here, I have like a whole opening of. I guess I'll start from I'll read it out anyways. So Sledstorm. Oh, the amount of hours I've spent playing this game as a kid. The Open Mountain Championship mode of the game was where I spent the majority of my time. Where you race against CPU racers on Alpine train courses. With each race you win, you're given cash to purchase upgrades for your sled. I have such a vivid memory of like the golden glow that the sleds, like parts we give off on the CRT. I feel like I spent more time in the upgrade shop, like, than actually playing the game sometimes, because like making decisions on, like, should I get smart treads and be able to go through the icy areas better, or should I wait and get like an upgrade that's a better engine. I thought that was, for the time, it was very very different compared to other games. It was just like you had to like really think about what you were using your money for. Yeah, Snowmoto, Racing Freedom, and other since Sledstorm have never come close. Yeah, it's weird like how it's many years have gone by and there's not anything that's like it. I don't know. It's just strange, and that's why I feel like we should talk about that. But yeah, the upgrades taught me to manage my money. That was like the first time like learning how to manage money. Let's see, what did I have here? Let's see. Let me play with Jackal. Yeah, unlocking Jackal was like the coolest moment. You're like, fuck yeah, he's like a ninja and like an army man. So yeah, bringing us to the main topic of the video. What would Sledstorm look like if it would get it remastered? I realize that this is a big if. Seeing that racing games are not like the most popular right now, but this is like, hey, maybe if this could be like the turning point. So these ideas are suggestions and are not exclusive to only Electronic Arts to make this happen. It's more of any developer out there that's like wanting to make a more modern snowmobile racing game that's good, not Snow Moto. And I was so quick to almost buy that game too. I was like, oh sweet, looks great. Watched like one gameplay footage, I was like, ew, it looks like an arcade racer, but then like nothing interesting's happening. They have like no open terrain. It's just like all like go through these gates. So I think to start off, if we were to get a remaster, obviously we're gonna upgrade the graphics and make it look modern. But I think that some aspects of the tracks should get like a little more polish and detail and add more things to give it more depth, as they would say. The Open Mountain Championship is good. I think it should have a difficulty setting that you can adjust. What did I say here? Yeah, you have easy, medium, hard. Really, all you need. The higher the difficulty, the less amount of stability your sled has at the beginning, and the faster you will go. So like, even though you don't have that many upgrades, your base like model will be faster but less stability. So you can get into the action a lot quicker, and it's like feels like more is happening, but you're still going to be struggling to like make turns and not flip over. So that's where the difficulty part comes into play. As for the characters of the course, keep all the originals. Just update the assets to modern standards. But there needs to be an option for like a fully customizable character. Because every game nowadays has a custom character. They do have like characters you can choose, but majority of games nowadays has a custom character. Let's see here. You would just have like your basic, pick your gender, racing style would have a range of different traits. I have here, like, say we have a trickster, has like a high ability for tricks, but lacks in acceleration and handling. Then we have like a speed demon, high top speed and acceleration, but lacks in stability and tricks. Commander, high stability and handling, but lacks in acceleration and top speed. I think that's a solid three choices that people can choose between. And then like throughout the championship, you could, it kind of balances itself out near the end, kind of like it does in this game. Then sled and character customization, only have a few options at the start, like changing the color of your sled or outfit, but unlock more cosmetics from winning races or finding shortcuts. Hitting objects in the original would just give you like points. You get like 500 points for breaking through an ice barrier. I lost my place. Where was I? Oh yeah, I did it. Like the snowman. You hit a snowman, you get 100 points, which only transfers to like $10 towards upgrades, which is nothing, you know. I don't mind keeping the point system the same for the objects, but I'd love to see achievements revolved around them. For example, if you were to hit every snowman in the game, you would receive an achievement called like Thanks Frosty, and then it would unlock unlocking the Frosty's top hat, like a big black top hat like Frosty the Snowman would wear. Or with each shortcut barrier you break through, you'll receive an achievement titled like, hey, looky here, and then it's like 1 out of 9 shortcuts. And once you've found all 9 shortcuts, you can unlock like a skin for your sled called like Pathfinder. I don't know, just an example. I can go on, yeah, with these. I really could. I'm sure you get the idea. While on the topic of cosmetics, we can't forget about microtransactions for the game. They would definitely be in there because every game kind of needs that to survive. Like if it's gonna be like a free game, because a lot of games like are coming out, they're free, but then they just have microtransactions to kind of make up for that. And they would need, like, I imagine, kind of like Steep customization. Steep has a lot of good customization. Like, I don't mind buying a pack of skins for my sled. As long as it stays cosmetic and doesn't become like gives you faster top speed, then of course it will become a problem. Onto the Open Mountain Championship itself. Keep the track design the same, as I said. Yeah, update the assets. Put more detail into the scenery. Add new scenery. Just as long as it doesn't obscure the like race path from the original. I have like an example, like put a stack of logs near the cabin at Pine Valley, or icicles hanging from the banner, stuff like that. Liven it up, pretty straightforward. Weather conditions, this is where things get pretty interesting. So in the original, it would either be rain, snowing, or clear. And this would be random for every race, but the rain and snow look like too similar to me. Plus they didn't affect the race in any way. It's just like simply aesthetic. But I like to see the snow be heavier so that it actually limits your ability to see as far. Same with the rain, but not as heavy as the snow. Hey, Crystal. It's going good. We're talking Sled Storm right now. And if it got a remaster, what would it look like? So, gonna be dumping a lot of information. A lot of conspiracy theories of what it would look like. But yeah, as I was saying, like same with the rain, but not as heavy as the snow. So you wouldn't like, it obstructs your view, but it's not gonna be like so much that you gonna be like, oh, this is a problem. Other than visually changing the track, it should also physically change the track as well. So like whenever you get the snow condition for the track, it would cause the like powdered snow areas to slow down your sled slightly because of like the snow depth. But it would give you more stability so you can turn sharper. because you have more snow. If you've snowboarded before, the more powder you have, the easier it is to cut, you know, bob and weave. Not bob and weave. What do they say? I'm a snowboarder and I forget it. Carving. There you go, carving. Icy areas would have a thin layer of powder on them, which would give the sled a little more traction than if there wasn't any, obviously, thus improving handling and acceleration. Compact snow areas would have the same improvements as icy areas. For rainy days, it would have the opposite effects. Faster on powder because rain compacts the snow. On ice, as you could have guessed, it would just get slippier. Slippier, a word? More slick, I guess would be a proper way to say it. Let me change that. Can something get more slick? I guess it can. So compact snow handling and acceleration will decrease. Snow. Oh, why did I say? Now, when I say increase or decrease the sled, I'm only talking in like small, like fractions of an amount, like a few miles per hour. It's enough to tell the difference, but not so much that it would completely like make the, you know, change the game, you know, in a way. And actually, they actually do have that feature within in the original. It's just you can buy upgrades to like change that. So like you go across the water at like hardpack. If you don't have like smart treads, I believe, you will go very slow. I'm just considering more of like the weather conditions will like also add to that. But that'd be so much fun. Just think of that. Each track essentially will become 3 different versions of that track. A replay option would be really nice. That's a good idea, actually. I will actually write that down. Let me put that under... Where should I put that under? Gameplay? Yeah. Or finishing, yeah. Thanks for that advice. Yeah, that's... Because it's like... Some wild stuff happens in... Championship. I just put replay option in there. Thanks for that, Garrett. Garrett to a Garrett. We think alike. Alright. So yeah, as I was saying, like with 3 different weather conditions, you get 3 different tracks. Cause like, it's like, oh, it's snowing. We got the element of snow, so it's like, okay, those shortcuts that have those ice, like think of a hardpack. There's said when you jump over those logs that are falling over, there's like ice that you land on and then goes straight into a turn. If it had a little bit of snow on it, it would make that turn like a lot easier. If they, you know, added traction to having that on it. But yeah, I think that would be a really fun element to add. For the fog series, yeah. In the original, it just like limits your visibility, like cutting the draw distance in half, which is just like, it doesn't make it harder. Like I can't remember even like as a kid that I would be playing and be like, I don't know what's coming up ahead. Like it wasn't that far. It just made it look nicer because you didn't see the snapping draw distance. But to spice it up, I think they would need dynamic fog. What I mean by that is the fog actually moves. So some areas would, like in the first lap, would be foggy, but then coming into the second lap, the fog would clear and move into a different section. And it'd be denser than like the original, so it's actually like hard to see. I think that would make the fog series actually like interesting, because in the original, I guarantee it, they were just like, we need more gameplay time, like it's not long enough. It's like, put a, I don't know, have them do the same tracks, but it's like foggy. They're like, how do we do that? It's like, just put a little buffer in the draw distance. There you go. And then add the tracks. Because the nighttime series is actually pretty difficult if you're like back in the day when you're playing on a CRT TV and you didn't buy the you know, better lights, the halogen lights. It would be hard to do. I don't know why I just have an empty layer here. Let's shrink this down. Yeah, let me work on this for like a second or two. I mean, I need to crop this so it's like a square. That looks like really tiny compared to a 16 by 9. Well, I'm, like I said, I'm making a thumbnail here, so it needs to be big. EA. Okay. I just need to move this guy over. I might have to put some gradient. Yes, I will apply that. Hang out. Let's flip it. Yeah, if you guys have any ideas, chime in. Please do. Maybe this photo is just not the best. We'll leave it like that for now. Mike, you finally made it while I was streaming. You're not gonna comment 15 comments on a video I posted? I hope you're doing good, man. Happy New Year. We're talking Sled Storm. I would like stream, and then like the stream would be over, and then like an hour later you would comment as if like I'm still streaming, like I'm live. I guess like you get like a delayed response or something like that. Okay. Screenshot that. Anyways. No. I don't know what you're talking. You're not. That's not what you're talking about. What the hell? Oh, okay. Sorry. Getting messages left and right. So yeah, the Fog series, I think that would liven it up a little bit. You would have like sections where like I do remember, you know, I mean, if you play the original, you shouldn't be like thrown into a loop. I'm saying more players that didn't play the original would be like, I don't really remember where to turn here. So the fog would kind of fuck them up. That's what I'm working on, Crystal. This stream is more of just kind of talk about it and buff out any rough edges before I actually make the video, because the video is gonna have like tons of like reference images and stuff like that. It's not gonna be just gameplay footage of me playing, you know, Sled Storm. and talking over it like so many people do. Not with Sledstorm, but other games. They're like, I have this really interesting topic, but I'm just gonna put like Halo Infinite gameplay over it as I talk about it. And you're like, and they use the same, and they like recycle the same gameplay like from the same game, and you're like, why the fuck am I even watching this? At least have like a full game. Is that what you do? Don't do that. If that's you, don't do that. Don't be that person. Unless it's short, unless it's like under like 2 minutes, like okay. But there'd be people out here like making like 8-minute videos, like talking over recycled gameplay footage. You're like, it's like just put a thumbnail up. Or put a full game. My problem is like I zone out and just watch the gameplay footage. I'm like, wait, what are we talking about? That's the problem. It's like, do you want the person to watch your gameplay footage, or do you want to talk about the topic? Alright, let's get back to on the track here. The finishing. So in the original, after completing the Open Mountain Championship, you're rewarded $30,000, but after clicking continue, as we all know, just goes back to the main menu. Which, it's just like, what the fuck, EA? Like, it's like, here you go. Here's a bunch of money, and you're like, oh sweet, I can buy all those upgrades I couldn't afford going into the last track. And they're like, no, you're not gonna get any of that. So I would fix that so that you can keep the money. It always confused me as a kid. I was just like, why did I would look everywhere. I'm like, where'd the money go? Are they gonna mail it to me, or? I'm a dumbass. Ooh, look at that. Fucking throw it with some gradient on it. Sorry. That's already looking like I can make somebody believe that, right? Somebody be like, what? Remastered? Yeah, it's completely meaningless. You have to remind yourself, like, okay, I can't. Like, I remember, like, after the third time, I was like, okay, I'm not gonna get that money. I'm not gonna get it. But you would still, like, hope that you would. Put an emoji? What do you mean? Like, what? Should the remaster be smaller? Like that. I'm gonna change the color of the text. Holy fuck. I'm gonna make it go to blue. The red version is the PAL version, which is A. I literally just hit the exact hue as the original, I'm pretty sure. Oh, I could soy face on it and be like, oh wait, I don't know. Which way am I pointing? Is it mirrored? Or is it this way? Sorry for the delay. Either way. Screenshot it. Yeah, this is already looking like. Let me just change the hue, or like the color balance for this guy. Wait, actually, let me hit it with the side gradient. It's a masterpiece. Should do the Gravity Falls meme. Here you go, kid. Here's $30,000. Thanks. This is worthless. All right. Gameplay. One of the most important aspects of a good racing game. The physics and gameplay. I just reinstated myself here. I don't know why. Is it challenging yet still fun? And EA did an amazing job for the original. Sleds act very realistic to their environments. Taking turns too sharp on inclines could flip you over, like physics do. Landing in awkward angles can result in crashes or stuns, as they should. And with the how diverse the terrain is, I feel confident saying it's one of the hardest racing games to fully optimize. Where does the picture come from? The Snow Moto Freedom for the Switch. Look it up. It looks great. Visually, looks good. Gameplay, boring as hell. As I was saying, yeah, I'm feeling, yeah. At this point in time, the best routes for each track are no mystery, but when it comes to how you approach and execute each jump and turn within the route, well, that's where things get tricky. To achieve the lowest time possible for each track, you need to keep your sled on the ground as much as possible. Why? Because that's where you get your traction, of course. Some speedrunners, like me, will hold forward before or after specific inclines to keep our sleds grounded as much as possible. This movement tech is called snaking. Some inclines can actually be avoided completely by holding forward right before you land, and you go straight through to the other side. It's called submarining, but it's not used as often as snaking. Go check out my snaking and submarining video if you have more questions on that. One of the examples of a submarine is the jump right at the starting line of Perilous Pass. When you go off a jump, that last big jump, and when you're about to land, you can hold forward and you shoot to the other side of the jump. Instead of if you don't, you just hit the jump, bounce up, and then land back down. You lose a lot of time. So you jump and then you just nosedive through it. Yeah, I watched that video. I was gonna leave you a comment. But yeah, it's nice to see. I always like everybody that's playing Sledstorm. No matter what they're doing, no matter how bad they are. If Sledstorm ever gets a remaster, do you think the tracks should be enlarged, kind of similar with they did in the Trial Mountain Circuit GT7? Possibly, depends on how much they amp up the speed. If they they're probably gonna up the speed. I would up the speed. Therefore making the tracks feel shorter. So maybe making them make them a little bigger. I think a little bit bigger is never a bad thing. And we have the technology to do that. So good question. Okay, this is a big one that I think would make the game so much fun from a gameplay standpoint. It's called preloading, if you ever heard the term. It's basically like chargeable jump feature for vehicles. It's most commonly used for like ATV off-road Fury games. you would hold down your stick to like preload your springs and then flip up to release the springs as you went off the jump, so you get even more airtime. This feature has never been in any snowmobile racing game, to my knowledge. Yeah. I don't think it's been in any snowmobile games. Correct me if I'm wrong. Could have been possible EA was thinking of putting it into the game, because in the demo version of the game, you can see that the characters, the preview, you can see their sled treads when they go off the jump. It like lowers down and then goes back up when they land. This could have just been an animation thing while you're going in the air, but I mean, at least they thought of the springs actuating. But yeah, each jump would have like its own perfect amount of preloading to land on the sweet spot of another like backside of a slope. Like, think about that. If you like put too much preloading, you would like over jump it and like bottom out, and you would either crash or get stunned. And if you don't give enough, you won't land where you need to, and you land on the flat, the flat section. Or there's like another hill within it that you land like right on the peak of the hill, and your sled topples. That would make it so interesting, I believe. Just keep talking here on. Jump too far. Yeah. I said that. Same we go for not enough. Oh yeah, and if you preload on flat ground, you go into like a wheelie. I guess you would call it a tready, as I said here. Once up, you must continue to tap the preload to maintain the wheelie. Not only would this be fun to show off in front of like competitors, but it could be used to like overcome steep inclines, and like generate some amount of points. I don't know how much. Maybe it's like a whole trick that gives you like 100, but you can't like steer as much. It's kind of like a straight, straight path. Wouldn't want to make it where like you get more speed too, because then every race would be like when you hit like a straightaway, everybody's like, ooh. I mean, maybe that would be kind of funny to see. The like everybody's wheeling like everywhere. Yeah, okay. In actual snowmobile racing, when the racers encounter multiple small jumps in succession, right before going off each jump, they will lean back and pull the throttle to push their sled downwards as they go off, so that the treads would reach the ground faster. This could be done with preloading. You would charge up your preload meter, and as you go off the jump, you would release while you're airborne, and it would throw your sled downwards. It would bring it downwards because it would be like firing a weighted object towards, like, changing the center of gravity, essentially. This would, this would grab the attention of more competitive players like myself to push the limits of this type of technique. Yeah, I've played Snowcross. No way, I haven't played it. I watched enough gameplay footage. It just looks janky. The tracks are just kind of not memorable. They're just kind of like your stereotypical jumps and flat ground, but I mean, it's a snowmobile game, so I give it a little bit of respect. But I have not played it. For online multiplayer, you gotta have it. Obviously. Seeing that the PlayStation 1 didn't have online at the time, Sledstorm never got that opportunity. But nowadays, every game released has an online capability. And there's no question why. It's a way to truly test your skills against people across the globe. Race against friends without sacrificing your own screen to do so. There would need to be a ranked and social playlist, of course. Track select could be similar to Mario Kart 8's system. You'd have like 3 random tracks to choose between. And if you don't like any of those, you could select the random track option. The track with the most votes gets chosen. Or it does like the whole like what it does in Mario Kart. No. I like the whole whichever one gets the most votes gets chosen. Cause you know in Mario Kart it'd be like that one person that puts Baby Park and then somehow it gets chosen and you're like, fuck all of y'all. No, I'll back out. I'm just like, I'm done. Reminds me I want to play some Mario Kart. Screw Sledstorm, let's play Mario Kart. Mario Kart needs a remaster. Yeah, just from an aesthetic standpoint, I just don't like the way it looks. But also, like, gameplay, it just looks like that. That's my best description of... Can you explain? What's the gameplay like? They're like, oh. Don't want to play that. Yeah, don't. Alright, we're going into the game modes now. This is fun. I had a lot of fun writing this today. You would have your typical classic 3-lap races. Nothing fancy going on. But then the second game mode that I thought of was gate races, which it's, you know, not new, but I have my own spin on it. If you don't know what like gate racing is, it's like it has like flags or beams that are shooting into the sky that you must drive through them. And if you miss the gate, you'll be penalized by like it adds time. Or sometimes you just get, I don't know, disqualified from the race. Or you have to go turn around and go back through it. I think it should just be like you're penalized a certain amount, like 2 seconds or something like that. Here's where mine's going to be different. For the first lap, the gates will be pretty wide. You would have like maybe 4 sleds across. And they're only going to be on the main path. Like, no, it won't go onto the shortcuts at all. Pretty simple. And they're always going to be in the same place on the first lap. But when it comes to the second lap, they will shrink in size slightly to, let's say, the width of 2 sleds. And I like that better. They would be randomly generated within like a 10-foot radius of like the original spawn point. So you would have this, you know, random element that you would need to kind of focus on, like where it's positioned and be like, okay, I'm probably gonna have to like take that jump like a little different. I need to go up the jump a little more to the right so that I can make that turn better. You know, it just like it alters your decisions a little bit slightly, and since it's randomly generated, everybody has to do the same thing. Like figure out how to do that too. And then on the third lap, it would do the same thing. It would shrink down to maybe like one sled across, but it will go into the shortcut paths as well. It'll take the shortcut paths. And so like your position doesn't really matter. I mean, it matters in a sense, like time-wise, but you could finish a race, and if you had missed like 2 gates in the first lap somehow, because you thought by taking that shortcut you would save time, but you missed like 2 or 3 gates on the other side. So you lose like 4 seconds, let's say. And the person that finished behind you didn't miss any of the gates, and they were only like behind you by like a second. Like you only had a second lead on them. So essentially, they would be given first place. It's not a matter of placing. You could be like, I just finished. You'd be like, did you miss any gates? You know, it's like, no, I got all gates, of course, you know. It's like, okay, cool. I don't know if it'd be visible for like other racers to see like, this person missed a gate. I think it'd just be more on your side. You would see it. That'd be fun. You like finish a race and you're like, ah, I got second. But then you see that the guy like in front of you missed a gate. And you're like, ah, you suck. On to the next game mode. So that was gate race. Next one, it would be score attack. This is actually already a category that's used for speedrunning. This would be for like the players that want to test their skills at both driving optimally and performing tricks. So the points that you earn from tricks would be transferred into time and then subtracted from your in-game time. So the bigger the trick, the bigger the time saved. For example, say if you land like a backflip, then it gives you 1,500 points. When it's transferred to time, you simply move the decimal over 3 places, which would give you 1.5 seconds. Only problem, like currently, you have to do the math yourself. When you finish the race, you have to add, you have to do the transfer and then subtract it from your in-game time, which is not difficult to do. It's just more of it's annoying, not that much fun, because you're like, that is a good score, that is a good time, I think I know what it is, let me figure it out, and then you're like, okay, this is what I got. But if it was an actual like fleshed out game mode that did the math for you while it was happening, like you did a trick and then you see your time, it does like a minus like pop up that fades or something and subtracts from your in-game time. And then again, it wouldn't matter of like, you could think that you're ahead because you took a shortcut and you're in first place, but it's more dependent on what route gives you the potential for the most time save. Like one path may be faster, but there may not be any jumps that way. So going to the right has like 3 jumps, and if you land all of your combos, you could like save, you know, however amount. Like, you know, save 5 seconds. And the guy that saved like 2 going to the left, going through the shortcut, it's like, oh yeah. It's like you're gonna save time, but you're not. You're also losing time in a way if you're not doing tricks. I think it would become the most competitive game mode because not one route is defined. Like definitely like this is the best route. It's like, well, actually this one could be better because you could hit this jump just right to hit this trick if you get enough air. If you preload just right, you know, the whole like factor with preloading will determine that as well. Yeah, I would really like to see that. That would be a fun game mode. And then last we have here is an addition to like 3 new tracks that are only for like the online multiplayer, just to kind of spice it up. And I have like really good ideas for one track. I'll pull it up here if I have it saved. Oh, I should have it saved. Oh, shut your mouth. It's in speedrunning or in my art folder? Let me check my art first. Oh yeah, it's in my art. Polar Plunge is the name of this map. Track. So, what we see here... Oops. Oh, I spelled iceberg wrong. Iceberg. I thought I saved it. Did I fix that? Anyways. You would start up here in this like campsite area. You know, to go down like some simple jumps with some turns. You go into this like valley, which would be very foggy. Very low visibility. And there would be like some large boulders and whatnot that are kind of scattered around. You can jump off them, but landing could be dangerous. And then you'll be essentially shot out right here onto this like shore, this like rocky shore bank, and the fog would clear. There would be this iceberg that you would drive across. And this iceberg would have like slopes and kind of areas that you can pass through. It'd be pretty big. It's gonna be a pretty big iceberg. You go across. There'll be like little ice chunks as well in the water that if you like hitting those will give you a little bit of boost as well. Then we go in here. This is the ice cavern. There would be like stalactites that would be hanging from the ceiling and whatnot. They would maybe fall at some point or whatever. It would shoot you out. It would be this big jump that you would land onto this glacier here. And when you would land here, it'd break off this chunk. Do I have this chunk? Thought I had it separated. Nah. Again, I didn't save it for some reason. But that chunk would break off and fall into the water, creating a big wave which would hit this iceberg, breaking off chunks, resulting in changing of center of gravity, therefore rolling over. So by the second lap, maybe the iceberg, depending on what time you get there in the cycle, the iceberg could still be rotating, which may make it more difficult, but since you're in the lead, you probably know what you're doing. Yeah, you would be able to traverse across it. For the players that come in later, it would be rotated out so that that path that's fastest would be underwater and you can't use it. So you go through the ice cavern again. Maybe this is when the stalactite or 2 will fall, whatever. Again, once you jump across this jump, there'll be a big hole here now, so you gotta watch, you gotta jump over that, you gotta preload properly. There would be something going on at the campsite, I don't know. Let's figure that out. But when you come back around on the third lap, the iceberg would split in the center, like break. So it would start doing one of those like drawbridge things. But it'd be like opposite, like Titanic, like sinking. So you would have to, the earlier you get there, the safer you are, but by the, thank you. Yeah, this would be, I've been thinking, I think about this idea a lot. But, yeah, if you get there early, you can like safely make it across, and it's like no problem. But like eventually, if you're too late, you won't be able to make it, and there's like a lower path you have to take. Hold on, my friend is probably asking if I want to play Halo. Let me text him right now, he's calling. Halo 3. It's hard to stop playing that game. Anyways, it would break apart, therefore, so you want to get there sooner than later, obviously. Does the game physics would be the hardest thing to remaster? Probably not. I don't know. Probably not. I feel like nowadays, like it's pretty easy to replicate that. But yeah, I think this would be a good concept. I have another concept that I haven't really fleshed out, but I'll kind of tease you guys with it. It would be kind of like an Aztec temple that's built underground, and then there's like a large hole that like wouldn't be an Aztec temple. It'd be some, you know, tribal ancient civilization that's underground. There's like a big hole that like snow can fall into to create the track underneath. But the first lap, they're all like made it as like mud huts and shit like that. Like everything, the first lap, everything's fine. But then like the second lap around, you see torches light up like within the houses and stuff like that. And then you start seeing like, you'd see like masked like sprites like peeking out of windows. And by like the third lap, there also it'd be like an Indiana Jones type deal. You would like, if you're the first person to like pass through an area, it would trigger like a trap and like fire off, you know, arrows behind you, knocking racers you know, down or stuff like that, depending on how like you know what rating they would want it to be. Like it would do like a drop hole, and characters would fall into the hole. Simple stuff like that. You could do like the boulder would like roll and break down a door, and then it would open up a shortcut. That's just an idea. But by like the third lap, the tribe people start like attacking you, or like start trying to like shoot arrows and spears at you. I don't know if I want it to actually like do damage to you or like stun you or knock you off. I think it'd just be like a aesthetic thing that's happening around you. But I would think at like one point you start like inside the town area, but then it like works its way up, and you do like a jump across the like big hole, so it makes like a whole, I don't know, perspective thing of like being able to like see down at the map below you. I would just need to start thinking of like what would be on the way from like point A to point B, like in between those areas. I guess caverns of some sort, like tunnels that would have like different paths. The thing is, snow wouldn't be able to get in there. But then again, you don't really need snow to drive a snowmobile. It just makes it easier to turn and stuff, obviously. Who knows? I mean, it could be like the winds could blow in the snow and maybe just have like patches of dirt areas. But that's... Oh, there is one third one. It's not really much of a uniqueness, but to have like an avalanche track where you're going down the track and triggers an avalanche. And if you're ahead, you could... the potential of you getting taken out by the avalanche is very high. And if you're with it, you can get a speed boost, ride the avalanche, which could like in turn obviously it would be faster, but also give you enough boost to like make it up into like a higher section of the track that's like a super shortcut or something like that. And if you're like too late to make it, then you're just like you're missing out. You're just not gonna get. And this could depend on how like close you are to like the center of the avalanche or the crest of the avalanche. So you can get some of the benefits of being within it, but then like potentially it would just like gradient, like decrease the farther away you are from it. But it'd go over to like an iced, like you cross over like an iced lake, like a frozen over lake. And you would have like elk or like bisons, kind of just like roaming around as like aesthetic purposes. But on the other side would be like heavily forest area where you have to kind of like build your own path. Reminds me of like Wario, what is it called? The Mario 8 track, the snow one. It's not laps, it's like just a straight. The only snow one. There's a section where there's like trees in a turn, so like you have to like drift. You can drift, but you have to like memorize like where to drift. Wario Summit, I believe. Maybe that's what it was. I think that's what it is. Because it'd be fun, like if you hit a tree. There's a couple of trees you can hit in Sled Storm, but you're not usually like weaving around trees. You're more just like there's that tree, like stay to the left or right of it. I'd like to see more of like you're having to do like some of this stuff like and then like around like a whole section. That'd be fun. And then if there's like a pile up, someone crashes in there, you have to like you might have to reroute, and go the other way and then figure out a different route that way. Yeah, more dynamic dynamic racing is what the future, what another like snowmobile racing has so much like potential for like dynamic things to be happening, like the glacier and iceberg concept I've created. You want each lap to feel fresh. You don't want to be like going like, okay, that first lap, like I just gotta make that turn a little sharper, or I gotta slow down a little more before I make that turn. Like, no, there should be an extra element. Something's happening that you're like, Gotta remember, you know, the iceberg is rolling over. I better, you know, it's like, ooh, am I gonna make it in time? Do I need to take the left route or the right route? It'd be safer to take the right route, you know, that kind of stuff. Give you just like one extra thing to kind of like make a decision. Oh, this was a screenshot. I don't even know if this is like a real thing. I found this on some website. It doesn't look like PlayStation 1, but it's more of like a, I guess it would be like some sort of poster for Sledstorm. Actually found a poster today on eBay. A Sledstorm poster that I ordered. I'll show you guys when I get it. Let's mess with the characters. What colors should he be? I mean, red is nice, but it's more of like a maroon looking. But I have said everything that I currently have. And I think it's plenty. Yeah, dude, I don't know if EA actually still owns it. I need to find that out. Because they act like they don't. But they don't act like it exists still. If you know what I mean. Now, let me put a... I want to change this red. Selective, yeah. Because the thing with, like, Sledstorm came out for the PlayStation 2 and it was still just called Sledstorm. Why didn't they call it Sledstorm 2? I actually have a sticker. I don't know if you guys can see it. But they did. They were going to call it Sledstorm 2, but I think since it was on a different console, they were just like, no one remembers. Nobody remembered the one on PlayStation 1. You know. There's more truck simulator games than snowmobile games. The truck simulator is like, you're telling me driving a truck is more fun than driving a snowmobile? Get out of here. Get out of here. I would laugh. I would laugh in your face if someone told me that. Why isn't this changing anything? I guess it is. Maybe I should be... Maybe I should mess with the hue first. See what that does. Green's kind of tight. What do you guys think about green? No? Red? Purple? You want it to complement. There we go, just up the saturation a little bit. Red's good. Hi Norris. Welcome to the stream. So. Yep, yeah, that concludes my ideas. The rest of the stream is just gonna be me editing this clickbait thumbnail for the video. But if you have any ideas or suggestions, I'm all ears. Yeah, that adds a little more to it. I like that. I will merge that down. Let's duplicate it and create a high pass filter. Let's give it some grit. We go over to overlay. Like that? You like that? Graphic design is my passion. Not sure what else. Remastered needs some work. Maybe it has like a, maybe put an outer glow to it. Stop telling me. Still needs to be smaller. Let's mess with some outer glow. But for why? For why? Ew. Never mind, never mind. Scratch that. Unless... on this. Nah. You could put it on like a plaque. Make like a metal plaque. Make it look like it's engraved. I don't know, again, just the minimalism is the future of, as you've noticed, every logo for every company is just becoming a symbol. Staples is just like literally a freaking staple now. Alright. Merge this down. Yes, supply. I don't know what that is. Might have been just the snow. Some dirty snow down here. That's looking nasty over here, this posterization. Let me throw a... I could put a lens flare. You can always put a lens flare in. Makes any game look good for some reason. You see that game? No, I haven't played it yet, but it's always got a lens flare on the cover. Looks pretty sick. Yeah, watch. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. It's like, damn, that looks like a good game. It's got a fucking lens flare. Alright. I do think... damn it, I gotta fix that before I do the lens flare. Fuck. I mean, frickety frank. Should it have a diagonal to it, or should it just be like... I think I should bring it over. The more I stare at it, the more I don't like this giant open space of nothingness over here. Maybe it should be black. Gotta fix that now. No. No. Put it back. Put it back. Sled storm. Lots of snow. I could put like wait, what could be here that's like not visually? I could just put snow or mountains. A mountainscape. Like a yeah. Highly detailed, like snowy mountaintops. It's just a placeholder I'm finding. Trying to find one that I like. Ooh. Is this really free? No shop. Let me have it. Let me have it. Don't make me screenshot it. Huh. Let me download. Yeah. Oh my god. Sled Storm in Unreal Engine 5. I mean, I'm already liking the thumbnail from like. Oh, it needs a radial. My god. Watch this, watch this, watch this. Bigger. What's happening? Chef's kiss. And then that lens flare in there. Oh, muy delicioso. All right. What was I doing again? Oh yeah, the mountains. Just gotta find them. Find them. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice, folks? Don't you want to just go there? Holy shit. Images. You. He's flying out of the mountains. What's my image size at? Maybe I should check that. That's very small. Let's do 20. Oh my god, this thing's fucking huge, bro. This makes me want to cry a little bit. Just thinking how good this looks, but it probably will never happen. Right? I mean, this video is gonna be like trying to grab the attention of developers. I'll even have a part at the end where I say that. I'd be like, "Yo, if you wanna make this happen, please reach out." Let's say giant trees that act as walls in the original tracks. Yeah, that's true. I know. You just have bears placed in the trees, and if you go out of bounds, the bear will eat you. There you go. Problem solved. No, I'm not sure. There would be a lot of powder in there. Your sled will just slow down. Like you can go out of bounds to a certain amount of point, like a certain distance until it says like return to the track or something, you know. But your sled would be like bogging hard. Bogging, bro. Bro, he was bogging. Bro, I never seen someone bog so hard. What are we thinking, folks? This feels like two separate images. You know what I mean? Oh, shit. I don't like how blue that looks. I mean, purple. Change the color balance. The goal is, if you saw this, would you believe it? And it's not quite hitting that for me yet. I feel like Remastered's always like really small. That you're like, oh yeah, the game, and then you're like Remastered. You're like, oh, wait. Maybe shift the edge of this a little bit. That? Did that do anything? Let's just put that lens flare and call it for now. See what it looks like. I just want to add that lens flare because it looks so nice. What kind of lens were you working with? That looks nice. The only thing is, like, I would like this character to actually be like one of the characters from the game. Like have like Jay. I mean, I could do that, but thing is, you have to do the whole bike, and there's just so many different little parts and nooks and crannies. And when it's just a thumbnail, like, give me a break. I'm gonna try a different version though. I still feel like the racer is like taking up a lot of like attention. Eh. I think it's fine. If anything, these mountains should extend. What the crap is that? Oh. I need another shot, I think. I would have to recreate the whole sky, bro. Imagine having to do that. Yeah, it's just the thing that like all the major corporations, like game developers, are. I don't feel like they're in very. They're not in locations where snowmobiling is popular or relevant, so they don't see it as a commodity. They just see it as an oddity. They're like, it's kind of weird. I think snowmobiles are so cool. Like, I don't know. You got this like huge engine that propels this tread that shoot you across snow. I don't know, it's kind of cool. Anyway, I'm gonna save this and call the stream. Sled Storm Remastered thumbnail. Alright. It's like my dog knew I was about to finish the stream. Did you hear me say in the stream? I don't say that enough for you to know what that means. Say hi, Minnie. Say hello to the folks. Say, I love Sledstorm. You say that? He's like, I want to play ball. That's what I want. And this this shirt is actually from the team that made this game. I bought it off the art developer. Kind of dirty. Was I eating this? There's no shot I was eating this. What is on this shirt? No, it's falling apart! Anyways, yeah. It's from the actual team that worked on this game, which is pretty dope. Very honored to wear it and own it. Usually I hang it up over there, but I thought for tonight I'd wear it. Yeah, it's like a jersey. Cost me $125. I wear it out and I'm like, no shot, anybody. Imagine you walk by and the guy's wearing a Sledstorm jersey, you'd be like, what the fuck? I need to make a Sledstorm hat. That'd be pretty dope. Anyways, guys, it was fun. Thanks for Crystal and Norris and Garrett for dropping in, and Mike, if you're still here. Someone. I'm not talking to myself, at least. But yeah, you guys play some Sledstorm. Everybody play some Sledstorm. Learn some new shortcuts. Learn some skips. Check my tutorials. That's what they're there for. Until next time. Peace.